So I picked 3 random YouTubers from 3 completely different niches. One is a fishing channel, one is a water sports channel, and one is a skincare channel. Together, these 3 channels should actually be making over $25 million per year combined. And this is not a random number. Like, I'm not just pulling this out of my ass. This is just simple math based on how many subscribers that they have. So the fishing channel with 75,000 subscribers should be making around $225,000 every single month. The water sports channel with about 93,000 subscribers should be making around $280,000 every single month. And the big kahuna, the skincare channel with 525,000 subscribers should actually be doing about $1.5 million every single month. So if you add all of these up, that's about $2.08 million a month combined, and roughly about $25 million a year hidden inside just these 3 channels. So I'm gonna just tell you right now, they are not making as much money per month. Like, they're not, even though they should be. And I know all this sounds crazy. I know these numbers sound insane to you, but please, I need you to please bear with me, because nobody has ever actually taught you, you or them, how to actually extract the monetization inside your audience. So all of you guys have been told to just focus on growth and not on money, on views, not buyers, on audience size and subscribers, not offer clarity, and not, creating an amazing product, etc. So in today's video, we're going to tear apart these channels. I'm going to show you exactly what they and you can do to learn how to monetize your YouTube channel correctly, so that you can actually get paid the right amount for how much talent, value, and expertise you have to provide to your audience, because I know you have a ton. So stay tuned. This is probably going to be genuinely the most important video of your life if you're an educational YouTuber or creator. So stay tuned, lock in. I'm gonna hop into the computer right here. Okay, so before we actually get into the channel breakdowns, and trust me, stay tuned, these channel breakdowns are going to be very exciting. There are 5 crucial things you need to understand before we even get into the meat and potatoes, because if you do not understand these 5 crucial things, you're just going to think like a content creator, and you're just going to be in the exact same position that you were in before you even clicked on this video. Whereas where you're just focused on views, likes, subscribers, posting content, getting brand deals, getting sponsorships, launching low-ticket courses and communities, you're going to be in the exact same position, because you're going to just be thinking like all the advice that has been told for you to think. Like, they've told you to think like this. Views, likes, and subscribers don't equal money. They can if positioned correctly, but most of the advice out there has just shown that, okay, views, money, views, likes, subscribers is the only thing that matters, and it's not something that can make a lot of money. So that's the advice out there. But let me just explain these 5 crucial things. So I have my notes right here. So first things first, let's talk about it. You do not need a huge audience. So most of the advice out there, and most of what is respected in the game of YouTube, is people who, have the silver play button, hundreds of thousands of subscribers. They make content and, have built a brand where a lot of people respect them, a lot of people follow them, a lot of people are subscribed to them. I want to state something very clearly, because everything that you hear on YouTube is related to growing your subscriber amount, getting as many views and likes as possible, so that you can be seen as somebody who is respected in the YouTube game. Like, oh, like, this person is great at content. And I'm not saying that these people who have hundreds of thousands of subscribers aren't amazing at content, because that's what they are. They are amazing at content. There's something very clear I want to state though. These creators with hundreds of thousands of subscribers to millions of subscribers, I'm telling you right now, quite literally, most of them are broke. And most of them are broke because they actually haven't figured out, okay, one, they haven't even, for one, realized how much power they actually have in their audience. So when I say that you do not need a huge audience, these people with hundreds of thousands of subscribers literally have millions of dollars, like, just hidden as a treasure chest in their audience. I'm like, if you just do the math, let's actually talk about this in a very simple analogy. Say you are a YouTuber with 1,000 subscribers. I don't know if you've ever been in a place where 1,000 people were in the room. And if you have been, you should know how many people 1,000 people in a room are. So let's actually 1,000 people in a room. Let me just exit out. Oh, buddy. Look at what it looks like to have 1,000 people in a room. This is probably a lot more accurate. Can you imagine having 1,000 people in a room? So stay with me here because I'm gonna get to a specific point. Imagine having 1,000 people in a room. That's what it looks like when you have 1,000 subscribers and you create content you create educational content, and that could be across any niche. That could be across, like I said earlier, we have fishing, we have water sports, we have skincare. These guys all teach education about their respective niches. Say, for example, you were selling something, and because the only way you're going to realize and actualize the amount of money that some of these guys should be making is by actually selling something. So say you're selling something, maybe $3K. That's a standard digital product price in the online space. A digital product price, $3K. All you need is 10 people out of this 1,000 people to pay you $3,000 to make $30,000 a month. So, do you really think out of 1,000 people you can get 10 people every single month paying you $3,000? Especially if you create phenomenal educational content, especially if the content is very valuable. Like, genuinely think about it. Do you really think you couldn't get 10 people every single month? And now when you even think about it in context to some of the names and some of the channels I have mentioned earlier, you can see like how far this actually scales. Because these guys have 70,000 subscriber channel, 95,000 subscriber channel, and a 500,000 subscriber channel. These guys have tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of subscribers in their audience. So you can see just based off of that alone how the numbers scale and how it actually is quite reasonable that these guys should be making millions of dollars from their channel. Because you're not going to make millions of dollars by focusing on just getting traffic and attention. Because if that was what actually caused content creators to be rich and have money, they would all be rich and have money. But why is it that you hear all the time where creators and people who have an audience are just not making that much money? It's simply because they're not turning all the attention that they are able to get into monetization, into money. There's a difference. And that's the reason why, specifically right now with you have a substantial amount of people that watch you and are subscribed to you, but you're not making that much money. In fact, the only money you're probably making is only from AdSense or sponsorships. Maybe you have tried to sell, low ticket courses and communities. Maybe you've tried the high ticket offer, but it's just not selling. That's another problem in itself. But the main point is, I want you to realize, like, realistically, someone with 1,000 subscriber channel should be making $30,000 a month realistically. And that's, I'm telling you, like, these are just numbers that, I'm being easy. Like, these numbers could easily rise. But of course, they could also lower, but these numbers could also rise. Like, more people per month could purchase something for $3K than 10 people. So, you need to ask yourself, like, okay, clearly, like, it's not my audience size. Because I have enough subscribers for people to want to purchase something from me. Like, I have enough people in my audience that me selling something could get them to buy over and over again. So I'll leave it as that. At that, let's go to the next point. So the next one is, like I said, I have my notes. You don't need millions of views. And I just had to turn on the fan because it's getting hot in here. I'm getting into the points. So you don't need millions of views. So let's go back to the previous example of someone with 1,000 subscriber channel. And this is being modest. Most YouTubers have way more than 1,000 subscribers, of course. So someone with 1,000 subscribers is most likely getting like 3K to 4K views a video on average. Maybe 2K to 3K views on average. Out of that 2K to 3K views, to make $30,000 a month, modest, all you need is 10 buyers buying at a 3K price point. And like we said earlier, 3K is a pretty standard price for a digital product that's really good. for a specific type of person who wants a specific type of transformation. That's the goal. Like, you sell something at that price so that you can give them a specific type of transformation. Out of that 2K to 3K average view per video, you need 10 people, dude. So, like I said earlier, you can see how this scales. These guys are getting hundreds of thousands to millions of views per month. And even, frankly, per video. Tens of thousands, whatever. So you can see how the numbers actually scale. Because a 1,000 subscriber channel is very simply 10 people could easily purchase something for 3K every single month because they're getting 2K, 3K average views per video. 2K to 3K people is a lot of people. So for these people, like the fishing channel, the water sports channel, the skincare channel, who are getting tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands of views to millions of views per month, dude, they should be making millions of dollars from their YouTube channels. But as said, the advice out there has never told and taught YouTubers and creators how to actually focus on one specific type of person that is going to buy your products. And because they've just told you stuff like grow your channel, grow your subscribers, all these type of things that don't actually lead you to the end desired result that you want with your YouTube channel and your life. Because your YouTube channel is just an extension. Like, it's just supposed to extend into your life, and your life as a direct result from your YouTube channel is most likely a life where you want to be free, you want to be able to create content on your own terms, you want to have financial freedom, you want to have time freedom, you want to have something where you're devoted to the work. So the advice out there is not actually leading you to the actual end desired result you actually want from your YouTube channel. And what it actually keeps you on is a constant content hamster wheel, trying to put out more content and more content so you can eventually get to this end desired result. But posting more content could never get you to the end desired result, because the end desired result, you need probably a lot of money to be able to enact that end desired result. And if the content isn't paying you that money, I mean, what are you supposed to do? So you don't need millions of views. Like, bonus if you do, and the millions of views are a specific type of person who can actually buy your stuff. But this works whether you're a small channel, medium channel, or big channel. I have 39 subscribers. By the time I have 1,000 subscribers, I would have made hundreds of thousands of dollars already. Like, it's just simple. Probably millions, bro. I'll tell you the truth. So third, you don't need hundreds of buyers. You don't. Let's stay on the same example. 1,000 subscribers. Like I said, you only need 10 buyers every single month paying $3,000. $3,000 is a very reasonable price for a digital product. Most likely you spend $3,000 on some shoes or some clothes. A lot of people will spend that money to get to a specific end desired result or transformation that they want and desire in their lives. Prime example, one of our clients at D-Ways Acquisition, Cecil, not Cecile, Cecil, that's how he pronounced it. He was able to sell $3,000 piano programs like it was nothing, bread and butter on a knife. Easy, because we positioned what he was selling, his digital product, as the gateway towards the specific end desired result and transformation that his specific type of audience / avatar wanted. So when you position your product as the bridge between where they're at right now and where they want to get to, I mean, bro, it makes buying and purchasing your digital product inevitable. It makes it feel like it's nothing to them. It feels like a no-brainer because it's literally the bridge to get them to exactly what they want. Giving out money to do so becomes a no-brainer. But this is why we sell at such a specific price point of 3K to 2K, whatever, 2K, 3K, whatever you're comfortable with. You don't want to sell something cheap. Like, you don't want to sell courses cheap. You don't want to sell coaching cheap. You don't want to sell a community cheap. You don't want to sell anything cheap. You think you're doing your audience a favor by selling them something cheap. But you're actually doing both you and your audience a disservice, because your audience isn't going to be as invested to get to the end desired result as they would have been if they actually paid something substantial. Money is just emotional energy. If your audience invests emotional energy into a product aka the product is now the bridge from their current situation to their desired situation. If they're investing emotional energy, they feel a lot more committed to going through the product and ensuring they're doing everything that they can do in order to get results from that product. $3,000 and $2,000, that's a substantial amount of emotional energy investment, because remember, money is just emotional energy. By someone investing that amount, they are 100 times more committed to getting to an end result rather than if they had just invested $60 into a community, maybe a couple $100 for a course or a workshop. It's not enough emotional, energetic investment. So, like, how many times have you dropped $300 on something you don't even know where the $300 went, or what you even bought, or whether you even use that $300 thing anymore? You're doing your audience a service by charging them something at a decently high price so that they can be more committed to getting the results that you're promising with your product. And furthermore, by charging something in a four-figure price range, like I said, $30,000 a month is 10 people at $3,000. So 10 people buying a $3,000 product. You only need 10 people per month to get to $30,000 a month. You're doing both for yourself a service so that, like, you can actually have a profitable income with not that much stress of dealing with hundreds of low-ticket buyers. And you're also doing your audience a service because they're actually able to get better results. So you don't need hundreds of buyers, and honestly, you shouldn't have hundreds of buyers unless you have all your systems dialed in. With the previous YouTubers, like as aforementioned, these guys will have tens to hundreds of buyers, but this is only after they're fully scaled. You don't start off with that amount of people, because that's just how you'll lead to bad results for your customers, your business, and channel breaking under the operational stress of having all these people entering into your products and your ecosystem without understanding, first of all, and having a specific system for getting results, onboarding new customers, etc. Like, you don't want to do that off the rip, but I digress. So you don't need hundreds of buyers. So fourth, you can do this in any niche. Doesn't matter. As long as you teach education, you can make hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars, frankly, a month, bro. Like, I'm tired of little, excuse my language, like, freak you, I'll say it, little dicking the numbers to maybe appease your small mind. I'm not trying to insult you. I just want you to think bigger, because content creators, YouTubers, creators are the most powerful people in this online space. You guys have the #1 skill, which is getting attention and traffic. That's what business owners quite literally kill and cry to their wives for. I can't get enough leads and traffic into my business. You guys have mastered that skill. So, most of content creators have millions of subscribers, millions of followers, whatever. That's besides the point. But imagine having millions of people in the palm of your hands. That's really what it is. And out of those millions of people, you can turn those millions of people into, millions of dollars, as long as you have everything positioned correctly. And dude, 90 to 95% of creators, no matter if you're on Instagram, YouTube, they just don't have it set up correctly. But if you teach education, it could be fitness education, it could be how to run a barbershop, it could be how to surf, how to master hiking, how to hike the Mount Everest, how to start a juice brand, how to create a new business idea. It doesn't matter. As long as you teach education, you can charge multiple four figures for it if you position it correctly, and if you position it as a bridge from someone's current situation to their desired situation. Of course, you need to understand their current situation to get them to their desired situation, but you do that by just asking them. So, doesn't matter what niche you're in. This works no matter what. As long as you teach education, as long as you're an educational creator, YouTuber, whatever, you can make hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars a year. Dude, my client is selling piano programs, bro. Like, piano isn't making people money. It could, but like, we weren't even positioning it like that. We were just positioning it like, oh, like, can this guy do it? Like, can he get like amazing at piano? okay, yeah, he can, and that's why like we position it as basically we will help you get amazing at piano, and people are like, yeah, no brainer, I want to get amazing. Doesn't matter, as long as you teach education, this works no matter what niche you're in. And then 5, you're never going to do this without focusing on a 4-figure offer / digital product / high ticket offer at first. And I just need you to somewhat kind of trust me with this. You can start off with low ticket, you can start off with mid ticket, but I promise you, you are going to see your business have inconsistent months. You're not going to be able to scale it. You're not going to be able to get the number one thing that actually gets a business money long-term, predictably, consistently, month over month over month. The last thing, the third thing, is amazing customer transformations and results. You can't control that with courses. You can't control that with communities. The thing that actually gets people amazing results is accountability, as in like you're taking care of them, make sure they're good. Investment on your part, as in like how invested are you to get them the results. The how good is the product. All of these things are lacking in communities and courses. The course, I mean, yeah, it might be an amazing product, but there's no accountability. I mean, there's no sort of person to watch over them and guide them when things are rough, and they might need a specific thing that's personalized to their situation. With communities, the product most likely sucks because it's low ticket. You probably just didn't invest that much energy into making it because you probably thought, oh yeah, it's just low ticket. Yeah, let me just create a community. Let me just sell something and get people in here. That's why people don't stay longer than 2-3 months. And even in the best communities, people don't stay longer than 2-3 months. So imagine having to constantly chase buyers month after month because you know inevitably the life cycle of one of your customers and people entering into your community is only going to be a couple months. You don't want to focus on low ticket and mid ticket. You need to focus on high ticket because, like I said, you need way less buyers. You get way better customer transformations and results, which is what actually grows a business. Forget everything else. It's not views, likes, subscribers. It's not sales. None of that grows your business. It's how many customer transformations can you get, cultivate, and share with your audience so that other people who see these customer results and transformations are like, that guy is similar to me. I can actually get the result too. And then they look at how they got the results and who actually got them the result, and they associate that result with you. What do they do next? I'm not even going to say the rest of the sentence. You already know what they do next. So I know that was a long spiel. I understand. I know you probably like, get to the point already. You need to understand these 5 points first, because if you don't understand them and you don't actually ingrain them as beliefs and understand them as the creator and YouTuber you are, the rest of the video doesn't even matter. Because now we're going to talk about the actual tactical things and strategy that these 3 YouTubers can use to actually unlock these hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars in income and monetization and revenue from their channels. But if you didn't focus on these first 5 things, none of it is going to make sense. Your brain is just going to reject it. You're going to be, oh yeah, he's BSing. Like, what is all this stuff talking about, like offer and like market research? Like, this is some of the topics we're going to talk about in the next couple of seconds. But I just want to make sure you understand that. So let's actually break down, tear apart these 3 channels and actually figure out what do they actually need to do, tactically and strategically, what they need to do in order to unlock this amount of monetization for your channels. And stay to the end, because I'm going to show you exactly how you can also step by step actually enact it for your channels as well. So I'll see you in the next clip. Alright, so boom, the first channel is BD Bassin. So first of all, before we actually even get into the content on BD Bassin's channel, and BD Bassin, his name is Blake, I'm familiar with Blake, let's actually just do the math on how much he actually should be making a month. So here is a simple math formula that you can use for your channel, and you can also use this as well. That's why I put it here for you, so that you can actually do the math on your channel, on the amount of subscribers you have, if you're an educational YouTuber. Use for your channel to figure out how much you should be making each and every month. So let's say Blake has 75,000 subscribers times 0.1% conversion rate. This is an industry standard. And in fact, I'll pop up like the screenshot of like why this is actually industry standard and like why this conversion rate is actually modest. So 75,000 times 0.1%. So of course we have to do PEMDAS. We learned that in high school. So that equals 75 people. So then you do 75 people times an average ticket price. Like I said, an average ticket price for an actual good digital product that causes an amazing transformation is about $3,000. It could be 2,000, it could be 3,000, but it could be a lot more. Like I'm telling you, it could be up to 6,000, 10,000. I've seen tens of thousands, but we'll stick with 3,000 for right now. So if we do the math, I have my trusty calculator right here. And like I said, this video, I mean, I didn't say it, but this video is gonna just be, this part is just gonna be very raw, authentic, unfiltered, just so you can kind of just see how I analyze channels and how I figure out how they can actually make these numbers per month. So you do the math. From 75 people, because all he needs is 75 people a month out of the 75,000 people in his audience. He only needs 75 people at a 0.1% conversion rate, modest, to make $225,000 every single month. So let's actually analyze Blake's channel just in an overview sort of lens, just so you kind of understand like what I'm talking about here. So as you can see, Blake makes content around fishing, a lot of stuff about like lures and fishing rods, and all of this content is pretty much education about what lures to use, education about mistakes that fishermen and anglers are making. He does have some content that does seem sort of like entertainment, and with entertainment style content, that content specifically doesn't really convert because you're not really attracting people who buy. You're attracting people who just want to view and watch something for entertainment. So with Blake, the educational content is phenomenal. The entertainment content is what would kind of like hinder him here. And what I would do specifically with him is just, I mean, for one, just stop with the entertainment content and make all of his content educational, insight-based, belief shifting. And all that means is, I know these are kind of maybe complex terms, but all it means is we're gonna just make his content provide as much value as possible to his audience. And he already does that with a lot of his educational content, but we can do that in a much better way. So Blake is getting around 3,000. I mean, no, some videos are blown up. You have 48K, you have the 11K. Let's say on average, Blake is getting around 10 to 12K views a video. So like I said, we only need 75 buyers coming in every single month. Blake, at the current stage of his channel, is not selling anything. He's not selling anything. So first things first, with Blake, we're gonna need to do some market research. We're gonna actually need to go through his channel and figure out like what his audience is saying. So I'm not gonna make you like watch me like do this market research. I'm just gonna look through his comments and I'll come up with a hypothesis of what are sort of the main problems his audience has. So I'll cut it to them. Okay, so we're back. And before I even get into the actual screenshots, let me just explain what market research is in like a very simple sort of lens. Market research, in simple terms, is just going to the market, which is just your audience, the people who are subscribed to you, and figuring out their biggest pain points and desires and problems and things that they have issues with, questions with, etc. Because it's these very pain points, desires, questions, etc. that can be turned into an offer solving these issues and solving these desires. And so when we actually go and look at Blake's channel, and we have a very extensive market research process at D-Ways Acquisition. Like quite literally, we have a whole market research GPT that will literally do your market research for you and create your offer for you based off the market research, but I digress. I can't go so in depth in this video because I don't want to make it super long, but I just looked at 2 videos and that's all I need to know. That's all I need to look at, because when you look at these 2 videos comments, you have questions like, can you make a video on how to tie leader knots? So I live in Tennessee and I've been doing some fishing tournaments lately. Is there anything I should focus on? Well, y'all know how to fish a Ned rig. Can you give me some bass fishing tips? Got a go-to budget bait caster combo around $150 you would recommend? And I don't even need to know any of these terms to understand that these are problems and pain points that his audience has. Yo, do you use loop knots for frogs or not? What's the best color? So what you would do is figure out, and Blake, this is how he would get towards the path of making 200,000 plus a month. He would just have to figure out what is the actual most painful problem, because your audience is always going to have problems. They're always going to have questions and things that they need help with. You need to figure out the most painful problem. What is the most painful problem that it really is rough for your audience? And because it's so rough and because it's so painful, you can then turn that into a proper offer that you can charge a lot of money for, because it's painful enough. It's so painful that they would be very willing to pay a lot of money to get it solved. Because, for example, you got to think about the person who's watching your content. If somebody is subscribed to Blake and Blake only makes content about fishing, you can be dang sure that if people are commenting and have problems with fishing, they are very invested in fishing and that they care about it, and it's like a major part of their lives. It's the same example for Cecil. He's selling $3,000 piano programs because piano is a very important part of the people he was selling to's lives. It's the same thing with fishing. So Blake would just need to figure out the biggest pain problem. And say, for example, let's say that the biggest problem that they had was they needed to learn how to master bass fishing. Because frankly, that could actually be a very major problem, because mastering bass fishing has so many individual miniature pain points and problems and things that need to like be understood and fixed in order to master it. And that's a very significant problem that could be charged a lot of money to solve. So let's say their biggest problem is they need to learn how to master bass fishing, and that's the number one thing that his audience actually wants from him. What Blake, all he needs to do is create a simple offer surrounding giving them everything that they need to understand and learn on how to master bass fishing. Basically, the offer is just the bridge for them being right now where they don't have bass fishing mastered to the end where they do have bass fishing mastered. The offer is just the bridge. So for example, the offer could be like, we help you, and like there's specific ways to frame it. I mean, you can go look at Alex Hormozi's offer framework. It's just like the time delay. I forget the equation. We got AI and GPT to help us create offers nowadays. But the offer is pretty much just saying we will help you master bass fishing, and we will help you master bass fishing without this pain point, this pain point, this pain point in maybe 90 days. So maybe the 3 pain points are like, we will help you master bass fishing without having to buy new gear, having to be by yourself, or I don't know, not being able to find rivers to bass fish. I don't know, I just made that up. But you understand the premise. So in simple terms, Blake now has his offer. Like literally, that's his $3,000 offer. Because if we have done the market research to figure out like this is their biggest pain point, just creating something that is the bridge from taking them from their pain point to their desire, selling that bridge becomes very simple. So, let's just write it down. Offer. We help you bass fish without pain point 1, 2, 3 in 90 days. We help you master bass fishing. That's the offer. That's the $3,000 offer. And there's certain ways to position it so that it appears more valuable. A lot of the ways to position it so that it appears more valuable is adding one-to-one time with the people who are purchasing. And that should be a guarantee. You should be adding that as a bare minimum no matter what. A lot of other things could be you add a community behind it. A lot of other things could be a whole bunch of bonuses and sort of value adds, value stacks that you could add to make the offer seem more valuable. And that's just it in like simple terms. So like some of the value stacks that you could add is maybe, so yeah, we'll help you master bass fishing without all these pain points in 90 days, but we'll also do this for you. We'll also help you master sardine fishing. I don't know, I'm making this up, but you understand the point. Like Blake would understand his audience and like fishing a lot more than obviously I would. I don't fish, but you understand kind of the premise. So that's his 3K plus offer. You can most likely charge it at way more than 3K depending on how you position it. So like I said, this is the step-by-step plan on how we want to take him to $200,000 a month, $225,000 a month to be precise. first step was market research. Second step was creating the offer. Let's just say the offer is pretty much just created. Like, there are specific ways to make the offer a lot more presentable, and we have specific GPTs that literally build you $1 million offers. But I'm not going to showcase that here because I'm just trying to make points. The next step after you create the offer is now just presenting that offer to the people who need help and have problems with, in this situation, mastering bait fishing. So we call that simply a launch. And all it is presenting the offer you created to the people you created the offer for. Simple as that. Like, you present the offer to the people you created the offer for. So in this case, we would create, and I mean, we have a specific launch process of the D-Ways acquisition, but let's just say all Blake does is ask his audience who needs help with mastering baits fishing. Maybe these people tell Blake what their problems are. Blake uses those problems to create the offer, which is the bridge from their problems to their specific and desired result. Then Blake just goes back and says, hey, I created this for you. Do you want this or not? And of course, there's a specific way to go about it so that it can be presented in a specific way that makes it like, oh, it feels like a no-brainer for the audience. But in simple terms, if you strip it down to the core roots, you're just presenting the offer to the people who you just asked for their advice on like what they actually want from you. And we call that a launch. You do it over a specific amount of days. And at the end of the launch, you should have about 5 to 10 people who are very willing to invest into an offer that helps them get to an end desired result and situation and transformation, because like we said earlier, these are the people who quite literally told us what they needed help with. So them buying feels like a no-brainer to them, because it's like, oh wow, this guy, my favorite YouTuber, the guy I'm subscribed to from the thing that I love doing, has created something specifically for me, and he said he's going to help me get to that end result no matter what. It's a no-brainer. So here's the asterisk here. Because a lot of people, when they launch, what they want to do is go as big as possible, get as many buyers as possible, and get as many people into, for example, this new offer of mastering bass fishing as possible. For you who is struggling to scale, or maybe you have never monetized before, maybe you're stuck scaling, you are not getting consistent sales, you're not really getting a lot of people buying from you consistently and predictably, it would be the absolute worst idea for you to go as many people as possible into this new offer, into this new like coaching. Let's say, for example, you're now coaching them on how to master bass fishing. It would be honestly ridiculous to get in as many buyers as possible into this new offer. The offer is untested. You don't even know if you can get all these people amazing results, because let's remember, the number one thing that matters is how many results can you get, how many transformations, how many amazing transformations can you get. How are you going to get amazing transformations when you have 50 people in a new offer that you just launched and released, and this is your first time releasing an offer, and you haven't actually gone through the work to figure out like, okay, what is it actually going to take to get these people amazing results? It would be absolutely stupid. You would ruin your business for now as well as in the future. You would be taking more money now so that you can ruin your business in the future, because your fulfillment, which is getting people results, is going to be broken. You're not going to know how to scale. You're not going to know how to manage all these people into this new offer. What we do at D-Ways Acquisition, for the first launch that is rebuilding and building the foundations for your future 6 to 7 figure a year creator or YouTube channel, creator business or YouTube channel, we cap out the spots at 10 people max. Maybe 15 if it's a bigger audience, but 10 people max is the maximum amount of people you want to sell to and have enter into this new offer. Why do we cap it at 10 people? We cap it at 10 people because we need to ensure that we are doing all of the work required to get these people to an amazing result. We need to focus on a smaller subset of people so that we can really focus on like what actually works, because you want to work closely with these first 10 people, first 10, 15 people, and get them amazing results, because when you learn what actually works, that gives you now the ammo and the feedback to understand how to actually scale what works into the future. So remember, the end goal in this situation is to get Blake to $225,000 a month. If he only gets 10 to 15 people, he's only going to make max, for example, if he's selling at $3,000, $30,000. That's not $225,000 a month. $225,000 a month should be the end goal, and even beyond $225,000 a month. Like, once you have the right system set up, you should be able to go way, way beyond that. But you don't want to be hitting these numbers immediately. Like, Blake could actually hit these numbers right now, but he doesn't want to because he's just going to break his business. He's not going to know how to manage all that money. He's not going to know how to manage all the customers. We have a 4 to 5 stage sequence and system at D-Ways Acquisition. We call it these 4 things. We call it the squeeze launch, before synthesis 1, before synthesis 2, synthesis. So the squeeze launch is what we call, and what we have named our mechanism as the first thing that we just kind of discussed, where we do the market research, we create the offer, we present it to the certain people who helped us create the offer, and we only get about 10 to 15 people. You want to focus on these 10 to 15 people and get amazing results. Once you've gotten amazing results for these first 10 to 15 people, then you can move on to the second stage, which is before synthesis 1. Now you can let more people into your ecosystem, into your product, into your digital product, because, okay, you've gotten great results for 10 to 15 people. Now you can open up a little bit more people so that you can actually test out your product and test out your offer more. And let me give you sort of like a foreshadowing for the last stage, which is synthesis. Throughout this time, you want to be documenting what is actually working and what is actually getting your customers amazing results, because we're going to use that documentation for the last stage of synthesis. So stay tuned. So before synthesis 1, we're now opening up a few more slots. So maybe we're opening up like 15 and 20. So now in before synthesis 1, we already had 10 to 15 amazing customer results under our belt because we went through the squeeze launch. Squeeze launch made about $30,000. Cool, whatever. But we are sacrificing money in the short term so we can have way more money in the long term, so that you have a business that doesn't break under all that money, and you have a fulfillment, aka just a customer results mechanism, a way of getting amazing customer results dialed in, so that, I mean, you're able to get customer results predictably and just consistently, because that's the only thing that's actually going to grow your business to these hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. You're not going to get there if you don't have good customer results. So before synthesis 1 is the next stage after the squeeze launch. Before synthesis 2 is just another sort of rehash of the previous 2 stages, but you're just letting in a few more people. So at this point, you've gone through 3 stages. You probably made about 100K plus just off these 3 launches, because the nature of launches is, yeah, you'll make money, but of course, the end goal is always to get to a point where you can make these numbers like 200K plus a month, hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. We specifically went through these first 3 stages because we needed to cultivate as many customer results and transformations as possible. The only thing that actually grows your business long term and actually separates you from everyone else is how many customer transformations you have. So now think about it though. By the end of before synthesis 2, we have probably 40 to 50 customer transformations under our belt. Can you imagine like how powerful you are compared to anyone else who might be selling something similar to you? Do you understand how powerful you are compared to them with 40 to 50 customer transformations of people who you have directly worked closely with to figure out like, oh shoot, like what actually works, what actually gets them amazing results? So you've worked with these 40, 50 people, and now we are in the final stage, which is synthesis. So you have 40, 50 people under your belt of amazing customer transformations. But what I was talking about earlier was the documentation. You want to document, and you should have been documenting what has worked. Because now, because you have worked with 40, 50 people and have gotten amazing customer results for them, at this point, you know what works. You know how to get amazing customer results, and you know how to actually get the people who, for example, want to master bass fishing, you know how to get them to the point where they have mastered bass fishing. It is now time to turn it into a repeatable and predictable and productized system. A productized system is just a course or a program. And you want to sell that course and program now in synthesis, so that now you can reach hundreds of people at one time without having to sell your time. Because the end goal isn't to just make all this money and be working closely with your customers and, don't have the freedom to pursue the things you actually want to do in your life. Like, you work closely with people in the first 3 launches so that you can get amazing customer results. But once you know what works, turn it into a repeatable system that now people can purchase it without you having to give up so much of your time. And at this point, you can now also start to hire out team members to help people get amazing customer results, etc. But The first 3 stages enabled you to build out a productized service, which is just a course or a program that you know actually works because you just did it with 40 to 50 people. This is how you truly build an empire. This is how you build an empire that makes millions of dollars a month. Genuinely, because it's customer transformation that grows a business. It's not anything else. It's not views, it's not likes, it's not subscribers, it's not growing your follower count. No. How many customer transformations can you get, and how can you distribute it as content so that other people see these customer transformations and want to be a part of what caused these customer transformations in the first place? And I want to just talk also about another side point, because how can you create a course or a program if you don't even know what actually has worked by working closely with people enough time to understand, okay, wow, I've gotten amazing customer results all these amounts of times. You can't build a course or a program if you haven't done this, because you don't know what actually works. You just don't know what actually works. You can only build a course or program that's actually truly phenomenal, that actually gets customer transformations after you've gone through the stages of getting customer transformations for 30, 40, 50 people by working closely with them. You don't want to just create a course now when you barely work closely with people and don't even have that many customer transformations under your belt in your YouTube channel, in your business, etc. You can't. So you need to go through the trenches of actually working closely with people so that you actually know what works, so that you can build a program, a product, a course that actually is amazing. And I know, for example, if you are a YouTuber who's never monetized before, this might seem a little bit kind of like crazy to you, and like maybe it's kind of confusing to you. All you need to focus on is the first couple of stages that I'm talking about here, which is the market research, offer, and then launching, because that's the only thing that matters for you right now, because you've never monetized before. Blake is a YouTuber who has never monetized before. So you are Blake pretty much in this situation, but for your specific niche. So we're going to actually get into what this means for you in a little bit, but this is pretty much the simple step-by-step flow of how it would take Blake to $200,000 a month. Market research, offer, a launch, that's the first stage. We call that the squeeze launch. Just get proof that people actually want to purchase your stuff. Get proof and knowledge on what actually are problems for your audience. Then you get amazing results for them. Then you can start to get more and more people into that same offer, which is before synthesis 1, before synthesis 2, focusing on customer results, focusing on getting customer results and customer transformation. You will make money. This is literally only like a 2 to 3 month process. You can make hundreds of thousands of dollars in 2 to 3 months. Like, for example, 30K off the first launch, maybe 50 to 60K off the second launch, maybe 60 to 70K, 67 off the third launch. So by the time you have 3 launches, you would have already made 100K plus, maybe 150K plus. Plus, you also would have had amazing customer transformations, because remember, we're focusing on trying to get as many customer transformations as possible in these first 3 launches. So you would have been around like 150 plus K, 40, 50 customer transformations, and now you have also been documenting what has been working. So now you're ready for that final launch of synthesis, where you are now able to really go big and go home, do a huge launch, and then turn that into a system that now is able to have people buy month after month without extra time and effort on your part to work closely with people, because you've already done the work to do so. So now you can turn what you've done into a repeatable system that you know is going to get people results, because you've already gone through the work. So I digress with this. This is a very long rant. Let me see. I've been yapping. I really hope this is valuable to people. So what does this actually mean for you? What does this mean for you? So I wanted to distill this into just a couple simple things that would be valuable for you. I think the first thing is, always remember the first 5 things mentioned in the beginning of this video, because the rest doesn't matter if you don't. So let me just pull up the 5 things again, so I erased it. So remember, you don't need a huge audience to do this at all. Blake has 75K subscribers. You don't need millions of views. Blake has 3.3K on this video. You don't need hundreds of buyers. Blake only needs 75 out of 75,000. You can do this in any niche. Blake is fishing. You'll never do this without focusing on high ticket first, because imagine trying to get people to become master bass fishers in a low ticket community. It's just not going to work. People won't care enough. There's not enough emotional energy. So you need to remember these first 5 things mentioned at the beginning of this video and actually apply it towards your specific channel, because everyone's niche is different. You're probably not a fishing YouTuber. But in terms of like actionable steps you can take, because the rest of what I was describing in Before Synthesis 1, Before Synthesis 2, and Synthesis, and let me actually write them down so that like squeeze launch. Before Synthesis 1 and Before Synthesis 2 and Synthesis, they don't matter for you because you most likely, no matter if you never monetized before or whether you are monetizing right now, what you need to do is go to the squeeze launch and rebuild from the foundation. Because if you've never monetized before, Before Synthesis 1, Before Synthesis 2, and Synthesis are not going to matter for you because, I mean, you've just never made money outside of AdSense, brand deals, and sponsorship. So you need to start from the foundations. But if you have monetized before and you're just struggling to make money and consistently and predictably, you still need to go back to the foundations because there's something that is broken that is preventing you from being able to scale predictably and consistently. That could be your offer. That could be you don't even know who you're actually speaking to market research wise. That could be you have a horrible funnel. That could mean you don't know how to actually get amazing customer results. That could mean your content isn't good enough to where you're actually attracting buyers rather than viewers. And of course, in these later stages, there are a whole bunch of stuff that we can talk about outside of just the launches, like in terms of like the content that actually attracts buyers. But I think I'll save that for another video. I just want to kind of do like an overview of how we would take these channels to hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. But you need to go back to foundations if you are inconsistently scaling because there's something wrong that is preventing you from being able to scale. So you need to just strip down everything and be like, okay, let me just figure out, let me just go stage by stage. Am I speaking to the right person? So let me do the market research to figure out if I am. Did I create the right offer based on that specific person? So let me create a specific offer after I've talked to that specific person. Okay, now let me present the offer to that specific type of person to really see if they really want this. And am I charging it at the right price? You should probably charge it around 3K. That's a very simple price to start with. And if people care about it enough, and if it's the correct offer, people will buy. Okay, now that people have bought, what am I doing to ensure these people actually get from their current situation to their desired situation and as fast as possible? Am I putting enough investment? Did I create enough of a good product in order to do so? Am I coaching well enough? Am I mentoring well enough? Do whatever you can to ensure that people are actually getting to a good customer result. And then from there, are you getting enough case studies and distributing those case studies as content? Because the case studies is what's actually going to attract people to your offer, to your products in the future. My personal advice is I would say do as many launches, which is like probably 2 to 3. I would say do 2 to 3 launches to ensure you're getting undeniable proof and case studies that make buying your offer kind of like a no-brainer for your audience, so that like you don't want to just start selling it evergreen and because like first of all, you're not even going to have a good enough product in order to sell it on evergreen. And evergreen just means like sell it like semi-passively, like where people kind of just find your offer and then buy it by themselves. You want to make sure you're going through a process of cultivating as many customer transformations while also at the same time building your product based off what the customers actually say that they want. Once you can do that, that's when you can now scale predictably and consistently. Like Cecil, one of our main clients, and then another one, Dusty and Aaron, they're going to scale very easily because we're focusing on getting as many customer results as possible while still making money, but the customer results is what's going to actually fuel an amazing product, and then the amazing product is what's actually going to fuel people wanting to purchase that amazing product because the product is amazing. Product is the number one thing in business, no matter what. Product and customer results. So, what can you actionably do in the next 7 days? Do what I just did for Blake. Go to your comment section, see what the main problems are, and nowadays we have AI, so you can literally figure out, you can literally just take screenshots of all your comments on Instagram, YouTube, and figure out and put it into ChatGPT or AI, whatever, and figure out what are the main problems that I can charge for and create an offer for based off these screenshots that I could charge for around like 2 to 3K. Like, what is the number one major pain problem that these people actually have? Like, and when I say these people, I mean like your audience. Like, what is the actual major problem that they have? And then literally even use that same chat to then turn it into a proper offer. Then use that same chat to literally turn that offer into assets that you can use to now launch that offer, which is just like emails, YouTube community posts, YouTube videos, like VSL, video sales letters. Like you can create a video sales letter, which actually just takes the potential buyer from like maybe not understanding the offer completely to now wanting to be genuinely a part of the offer and being sold into the offer. And then you can use that same chat to launch that offer, sell that offer, and the chat will teach you how to do so. But my main point is, do the exact same process. Go from market research, go to offer, launch that offer to the same people you got like the market research from, and then make sure that you're doing everything that you can to get amazing results for the people that buy your offer. And there's a whole bunch of resources on how to do that. I'm gonna definitely have some videos on how to actually get amazing results for your product and your offer. But I digress because this video is already getting way too long. Okay, so now on to the next contestant. We have Damien Leroy, 93.6K subscribers. So let's actually run the numbers. Let's go through the formula. Times 0.1%. Remember, PEMDAS. I think that's 93.6 people. So we'll average that out to 94 people. So 94 people times 3,000. Sir Damien should be making $282,000 every single month. Guys, this is very reasonable when you have dialed in exactly who you're trying to target with your videos and your audience, and when you make content to attract buyers rather than viewers. Even so, you can still turn viewers into buyers, but of course we want our content to primarily be targeting buyers. That's through story-based content, like letting people know like how you came up with your offer, how you came up with your mechanism, who you are, how you came up with the fact that you're able to get and actually get like how you're able to communicate your value and how you were able to learn your value. That's through obviously education. That's obviously through value-based content, like how much information can you give on telling someone and showing someone how to get to an end result. That's also belief shifting content, like okay, are you changing people's beliefs in your videos so like where they believe in your solution, and if they believe in your solution and they believe in you, they're obviously going to buy from you. So that's specific sort of content that Damien could be posting, but this is very reasonable. He has 93,000 people in his audience. All he needs is 93 people out of his audience every single month purchasing a $3,000 product. Very reasonable. That's a 0.1% conversion. Like we said, this is very modest standard conversion rates. So Damien is actually a unique sort of case. Let's actually first start talking about, well, Damien, okay, so Damien actually does have some things that he sells. So I think he has this Patreon. I know for a fact he has his school, Verifying You Are Human. AC! Shout out Corey Kendrick. So Damien actually has a Patreon, 72 members, and he's charging something at $20 a month. And he's giving monthly Q&A session, his time, which is worth probably multiple four figures for $20 a month. So Damien is not making no money from his channel, besides AdSense, which probably isn't even paying that much because of his niche. So he has a Patreon, then he also has this clinic where it says only 2 spots left, but then it says only 6 spots left. This is not his, that's a product he's endorsing. So he's endorsing products where people are paying thousands of dollars for when he's not making anywhere close to that. So yeah, none of these products are his. But we can book a lesson with him. Okay, we can book a lesson with him for $1,500. But this, you can book a lesson with his coaches for $1,500. But this is a one-time thing where it's 3 days and then it's done. And then furthermore, because it's in person, it's in person and he's only charging $1,500 for it. That should be worth $10,000 specifically to work and go in person and train with him and train and actually be engulfed with his lessons and value. That should be worth multiple 5 figures. So Damien is actually a unique case. So he understands that, okay, he has value and he has value to share and he can actually have value that he could sell, but he's not positioning what he's selling in the correct lens. He hasn't sold things in the right order. He has multiple things he's selling. He's endorsing products that aren't even probably paying him that much money off commissions and affiliates. So Damien just has a whole bunch of misdirection in his channel. He needs to strip down everything because he's pricing his in-person thing wrong. His Patreon is basically useless. He's endorsing people who are making probably thousands off of him, and he's making barely any cuts. He needs to remove and strip down everything. Damien needs to go to the foundations. As earlier, you'll notice a theme. For the most part, educational YouTubers don't really have to do too much to get to these goals of $282,000 a month. They just need to follow a simple system. We have outlined and solved that system here at D-Ways Acquisition, but of course, I digress. I'll just explain what that system is. So Damien, first of all, before we even get to it, Damien needs to I don't want to get into that yet. I'll just keep it with the same point. He needs to go back to the foundations, strip everything he's currently offering, and sell one flagship offer at 3K, 4K, 5K, whatever price point, a digital product flagship offer that's focused on getting customer results and customer transformations, because that's what's going to allow him to actually make the money that he wants to make. 100K a month, 200K a month, 300K a month. You're not going to do that if you don't have amazing customer transformations. I've said this earlier, I'm going to say it again, I'm going to sound like a broken record. You're not going to be able to do this if you don't get amazing customer transformations. So Damien needs to go back to foundations, figure out one specific person he wants to target. He can do that by looking through his content, looking through the biggest pain points, looking through what is the #1 transformation that his audience actually wants from him. And then turn all those market pains and desires into an actual offer. And furthermore, I have a little bit of something that might help you guys just kind of visualize it better. This is just the step-by-step creation framework for an offer. You identify the market's pains, frustrations, or gaps that they feel. Then you figure out their dream result. What is the most emotionally desirable, quantifiable version of success for them? So Damien creates content about water sports. Probably these people want to go pro, or maybe they want to just become amazing at it, whatever. Figure out what that dream result is for them. Then engineer a mechanism, which is step 3, that helps making that result happen inevitably. So engineer a unique mechanism, engineer a different way of doing it compared to someone else. That could just be Damien can name the unique mechanism the Damien method of becoming pro at water sports. Literally, it's as simple as that. Step 4, stack asymmetric value. That just means stack as much things to the offer that make it perceived a lot more valuable, perceived a lot more unique and good and awesome and make it sound nice and better for the audience. So that's what I'm saying. How can they make paying you feel like a no-brainer to them? That's with the stacking of the value. Then eliminating risk is just a guarantee. So eliminating risk, a guarantee, as well as also explaining in the offer that you're going to be able to do so without pain point 1, pain point 2, pain point 3, the things that are preventing them from getting to that result in the first place. Very simple offer creation framework. And I know they use some confusing words here that you might not understand, but I tried to distill it and make it sort of simple to understand. So Damien quite literally can go into his content and figure out what are the biggest pain points that his audience has. So, and with Damien specifically, a lot of his content, some of his content isn't that educational. He would definitely need to figure out okay, what is the avatar I'm trying to target, and then create content around that specific person. Because some of his content just seems sort of educational. Like this one right here, the Alpine Foil. I'm sure it is educational in a way, but it needs to be positioned better. So I would say he should go into the comments of videos like this: how to pump foil with the foil scoot, 3 drills to dock start. I would probably not this. That's what I'm saying. His content is kind of all over the place. He's talking about kids with foiling, and some of the content is like educational, but then other is like sort of entertainment. So he needs to really figure out a direction for who he wants to target, because once he figures out who he wants to target, he can create content surrounding them so that he has a lot more focus with his channel. Because he's not going to be able to make $280,000 a month if he has different people going to the channel for different things. You only make that amount of money when you have specificity, as in one specific person you're trying to target, and you're only trying to target and attract that person, because it's only that person that's going to actually buy from you again and again and again. You're not going to be able to do so if you have multiple people who are on your channel for different reasons. You want to make sure that everyone that is watching you is on your channel for that specific reason that you want them to be on your channel for. I create content for educational YouTubers. I'm only going to create content for educational YouTubers. Notice how it's educational YouTubers, not really educational creators, not people who really use Instagram, Twitter, all that. I only want to focus on YouTubers. I believe YouTubers are the most powerful people in the online space, more so than these creators on Instagram and Twitter. So all the content I create is always going to be tailored towards YouTubers. So you can see how by the time I have 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to have 1,000 people who are the exact person I'm trying to target. Dude, these people will pay me millions of dollars. Like, I'm telling you, by the time I have 1,000 subscribers, I would not be surprised if I have made hundreds of thousands of dollars from my consulting firm. Of course, we're taking this firm to $100 million. That's the goal. So stay tuned, subscribe, so that you can actually watch the journey, because, I mean, dude, you're going to see it unfold right here. I've been documenting for the past 2 years, but I'm now at a place where I'm leveling up and taking the business to a new level, a new height. So stay tuned and watch for the journey. So pretty much, it's going to be the same process as how we talked about aforementioned with Blake. Damien is going to go through the same process. Of course, once he figures out who he wants to target, of course, like fix his content so that it's like specifically towards that person. We're going to figure out who he wants to target. We'll create an offer around him. We'll launch that offer to the avatar. Sell that offer. Literally just hop on a call with them or do it in DMs and just be like, hey, I have this for you. This is why it's good. This is why you need it. This is why it's beneficial for you. And then give them all the reasons why they should buy it, and then they'll buy it. So that means just selling that offer, getting amazing results for the offer, which means working closely. Can I type today? Working closely with your customers. Documenting what's working. Taking time and energy to really focus on getting them to their goals. Working extra if needed to ensure they are in line with achieving the transformation. Be in the trenches with your customers, because you're being in the trenches with your customers is what's going to actually allow you to create a good product, which is what actually is going to allow you to hit these hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars per year. The top of the top people in your industry and in your niche, they're at the top of the top because they have an amazing product. It's as simple as that. So be in the trenches. Do everything that you can to get amazing results for your customers, because that's all that matters. Then you get amazing results for them. Then you can start to, document what works. Turn the results into case studies. Distribute those case studies into content. Content being belief shifts, customer interviews, case study breakdowns, story-based and identity-based content surrounding why you created the offer, how someone got a result, etc., as well as content about just who you are, because they don't just need to buy into the product, they need to buy into you. That's very, very important. Just who you are, but as well as talking about just who you are and how you came up with everything you've done, like just kind of everything you've done. Leadership, value-based, and education content. And all of this, you can look up how to do all this on ChatGPT, YouTube, whatever. Or you can join us at D-Ways Acquisition. We'll show you how to do everything. We'll build out your 6 to 7 figure a year YouTube channel and business from scratch. So then you document what works, you turn the results into case studies, distribute those case studies into content, relaunch, and then repeat the same process. Relaunch, and then repeat the same process. So the first relaunch is before Synthesis 1, the second relaunch is before Synthesis 2, and remember, the most important things in these two launches is documenting what's working and starting to turn it into a repeatable process so that like you don't have to be so manual and so in the trenches with customers. You can kind of just give them a blueprint that you know works, and then they'll be able to get results without you having to put maximal effort in order for them to do so, because it's now a repeatable process that you know works for that specific type of avatar. Because the person and people in your product, I mean, it's going to be a specific type of avatar that's always going to be joining your product. So it's like you should be able to create a repeatable process around that specific type of avatar again and again and again, because remember, it's always going to be the same type of avatar that's joining your product. And then finally, launch one more time for a big launch before now being able to sell your product evergreen, which just means people can buy it without having you launch the offer again and again. Because remember, when you launch, you're probably gonna close spots, and like you'll close doors for the launch. You'll launch, you'll close the like entry into the product so that you can focus on amazing customer results. Then you'll reopen it. But when you launch for the final time, you now have 40 to 50 customer results under your belt. So now you're able to sell it on demand without launching, because your customer results is what's actually fueling people purchasing. You have enough customer results that it feeds into your content. Your product's amazing. I mean, dude, I'm giving you all the game. Like, bro, this is more value than anything you've probably ever heard. So, and this is what we do at D-Ways Acquisition. So don't forget that. So I mean, pretty much at that point, you are at 280K. You'll be able to scale to that amount plus a month once you dial in the avatar and who you are talking to, and only attracting that type of person. That means you're not going to be going viral. That means your views aren't going to be crazy. Like, you're trying to just focus on one specific type of person. You don't need to go big and try to attract everybody. You focus on your avatar, only create content for them. Because I'm creating content for one specific type of avatar, I'm able to book falls from this content because it speaks directly to one person. I'm not trying to target everybody. I do the same strategy across all my social medias. And so that's a simple path for Damien. What does this mean for you? I mean, it's going to be the same thing, bro. Market research, offer creation, launching, selling, getting amazing results, turning those results into case studies, plus documenting what actually works to get those results. Relaunch, launch one more time. This is a 180-day process. But the market research and offer creation, launching, selling, you can have, let's see, you can have 30K, 20K, 40K in your bank in 2 weeks. This is a 2-week process. 7 days of setup, 7 to 9 days of launching. This is a 2-week process. So you don't have to wait to make a lot of money. Like, you can have 30, 40K in the bank while you're getting amazing results for your customers just in 2 weeks from now. We'll help you do that at D-Ways Acquisition, but it's a 2-week process. So what does this mean for you? Do the exact steps we told you to do with market research. Go through the comments, go through your biggest pain points, go through the DMs you get from your audience and followers, create an offer around it. Literally just go to ChatGPT, figure out how to look up, literally search up, help me create an offer based on Alex Hormozi's value equation, offer creation framework, based on all this screenshots and data I have of what my audience actually wants. Help me figure out the most profitable problem to solve. You launch that offer, present it. Then you can tell ChatGPT to help you create a launch plan and launch assets so that you can launch it. And then you can ask ChatGPT to teach you how to sell it, literally. Or you can have us literally do it for you, pretty much. But that's a viable path too, like just what I just told you to do. Then, once you've made money, then you can come to us, or you can figure out how to do the rest. I mean, this is a pretty iterative process, so I mean, good luck. But I mean, yeah, that's the simple path. Okay, and finally, the big kahuna himself, Chris Gibson, 525,000 subscribers. So let's just do the math. Chris Gibson is the big kahuna himself. He has an insanely large audience. So 0.1%, that is probably about 525 people if I can do math correctly. So that's 525 people times $3,000 equals, I mean, bro, this is millions of dollars a month. It's millions of dollars a month. That's 1.57 mil. 1.575 million. Each month. The big kahuna himself. Chris should be making $1.57 million every single month, even if he never added a single subscriber again to the channel. Because this is the nature of educational YouTubers and educational content. People are only subscribed to you because they are interested in the education. And what is even education when you strip it down to its core principles? Education is just giving someone value so that where they're able to, you're giving them knowledge so that they can solve a problem. Because everything in life is just solving problems. Education gives you the knowledge to solve problems. I have hair in my mouth. So the people who are subscribed to Chris are people who are interested in solving the problem of fixing their skin. And now with Chris, the nature of his channel, I mean, it is a little bit deader. Like, he's only getting 3K views for 525K subscribers. And this is probably because, yep, I figured he's been posting for 15 years. So it's like he's been doing this for a very, very long time. So it's like people come and go. So perhaps with Chris, it wouldn't be 1.57 just because his audience isn't even that engaged. But like, regardless, he would still only need 525 people out of like 3K views. But it's just, it's not that realistic. Let's just be real, it's just not that realistic. But I mean, just based on conversion rates, it's just not that realistic. But he could get to this amount. So with Chris, he has a community that I already checked out. It's like free. Like, dude, it's like, it's literally not even charging. It's not even charging for it. I don't think so. You can join it, but it's like you have to create an account. Get your free skin ID by creating an account. It probably is paid, but like, I mean, that's the only thing he's offering. So he constantly is having to get new people into that community month after month after month. It's just another hamster wheel, because he's already on the content hamster wheel. Because I know Chris does not make that much money from his videos, especially with the fact that his views aren't even as popular as they should be. He's not making that much money from AdSense, for sure. His niche isn't high RPM, so he's not going to make that much money in general. He's not selling anything substantial. Doesn't have a good funnel. He probably maybe sells and has brand deals and sponsorships, but like I said, all this stuff is inconsistent month after month. Chris needs to sell a high-ticket transformation-based offer / digital product on how to get amazing skin and how to transform one's skin. Chris has phenomenal, like insane amount of industry experience. He has 37 years of skincare experience. So Chris can leverage that experience, and he probably understands how to really help skin. So Chris, very simple enough. It's the same process as before. We would just go through his comments and go through his most popular videos and go through his most popular asked questions and issues and pain points and desires that people want. What do they need help with their skin with? Do they need help with hyperpigmentation, rosacea, I don't know, like acne, like questions on Accutane, whatever the case may be. Like less wrinkles, whatever the case may be. It'll probably be with, because Chris is 61. So I would say for him, he's probably targeting people who are older and want like tighter skin, less wrinkles, etc. So he can figure out basically how to create an offer helping people get a transformation with having wrinkled skin to less wrinkled skin. Same thing as before. You follow the offer framework, figure out the market's desires, figure out their problems, figuring out, okay, what is the bridge to get them from their problems to their desires. ensuring that it's as less risky as possible. Like, so they're not, doing it with certain things that they've tried in the past, guaranteeing that okay, they'll get these results. Value stacking by adding a whole bunch of bonuses and different things that you believe will actually allow them to get to the results faster, quicker, and easier, just to make it seem like a no-brainer of an offer. But additionally, once the offer is created, you can now then present, like, bro, like, because you create the offer based off the actual market's pain points, psychographics, and their actual language and vocabulary of what they've said they wanted. Presenting the offer to them is a no-brainer, bro. It's like, oh, duh, of course I'm gonna get this. It's literally created for me. Chris should go through the same exact process as mentioned before. I'm not gonna go through it all. We already did for the first two people. Get amazing results for a select few, 10, 15, maybe older women who want to get less wrinkles, get tighter skin, get more supple skin, etc. Get 10, 15 amazing customer transformations. Show that onto his YouTube channel. That would make his YouTube channel start popping a lot more, getting a lot more views, getting the right type of views, getting a lot more people interested, because now he's showing people who are able to get amazing results. I mean, I'm seeing that, I'm not sure, I don't think these are his customers, for sure not. I mean, it wouldn't really matter because, I mean, it's not selling anything. Even if they were his customers, it's not selling anything. But that would make his videos and his engagement start popping a lot more, especially if he positions the content correctly. Once he understands how to position educational content so that you can attract buyers and not just viewers. He starts using the case studies and transformations as content. He starts relaunching again, starting to build out a product that like is able to get amazing results for people without him having to work maybe closely with people, which is of course the end stage of synthesis. You relaunch, you get more customer results. You relaunch again, you get even more customer results. At this point, you have 40, 50 amazing transformations of women who have amazing supple skin because of your work. How would people not buy from you? Specifically as well, because you're only going to be making content for one specific type of avatar, which is these women. So it's like the people you're trying to target are the people who you're helping, and so the people that you're trying to target, they see that how many people you've helped who are literally exactly like them. It's a no-brainer, bro. This is how you create an empire. This is how you create a business and a source of income from your YouTube channel and monetization that like literally makes you hundreds of thousands of dollars a month without needing that many subscribers, views, likes, or any of that. Notice how none of this video I've talked about AdSense, sponsorships, affiliate, because none of that matters, bro. It's not these things that make you money. It's people that make you money. Your subscribers, the audience that you have leveraged with your amazing God-given skill, content creation, and attracting attention. These people are waiting to be helped further than you. They don't want you to just make free videos like this. They don't. The free videos they don't help. Free videos don't help. Even this video is not going to be able to help you. You don't have the actual things that causes amazing customer transformation, which is accountability. You don't have my accountability. You don't have the step-by-step specific plan, personalized and tailored towards you. You only can see how it works for like a fishing channel, a water sports channel, a skincare channel. But what if you make videos about horseback riding, and there might be a little bit of nuance for that. So you don't have the actual things that with free content that actually causes someone to get amazing transformations, and that's why your audience actually needs you to sell to them. They need you to sell to them because if they're subscribed to you for that specific thing, for example, horseback riding, you can be danged sure that they care a lot about horseback riding. Dude, I love horses. If someone gave me an offer of teach me how to become an amazing with horses and an amazing horseback rider, you gosh dang be danged I'm buying that thing. And I'm not even that feels like a no-brainer to me. So you can apply it to any other aspect in any niche that you're in. It doesn't matter. If you're an educational YouTuber, if you create education on YouTube, no matter what niche you're in, you are sitting on hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars in your audience without adding new subscribers, likes, views, any of that. With 10,000 subscribers, you could be a multi-millionaire. With 1,000 subscribers, you could be making $30,000 a month. 5,000 subscribers, hundreds of thousands of dollars a month. Because 5,000 people is a lot of people. 1,000 people is a lot of people. Especially if those people are directly tailored towards the specific person that you are trying to target and sell to in the first place. So, I'll just leave you with this, because these are pretty much the last little things I want you to do. You understand why this works, you understand how this works, you understand how to apply this to your channel. Your actionable steps, today is October 24th at the time of making this video. Your actionable step is to go through your comments and DMs and messages and emails from your audience. Figure out what are the main things that they seem to ask you questions about. What did they say they need help with? What did they say they want you to help them specifically with? Figure out what these things are. Extract the number one pain, the number one desire, and you can use ChatGPT to help you extract it. Literally screenshot all the comments, messages, DMs, etc., emails, put it into ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to help me to extract all of the biggest pain points, problems, and desires from my audience so that I can then eventually turn it into an offer. Like, help me figure out the most profitable one to sell, because the most profitable one is probably going to be the most painful problem that they have. Then you can ask ChatGPT to turn it into an offer using Alex Hormozi's offer framework. Then you can go to your audience, Instagram DMs, emails. Use ChatGPT to help you come up with assets that actually present the offer in a correct way. So like, ask ChatGPT to create you emails and Instagram stories and YouTube videos and video sales letters and YouTube community posts based on the offer you've created, so that you can launch it to your audience and they make it. It makes it like in their head. It makes it seem like a no-brainer. It's like, oh, like, yeah, obviously the way he's presenting this, the way he's showcasing the offer through his Instagram stories, his YouTube community posts, his YouTube videos. Oh yeah, of course I'm buying this. And then selling, it won't even be hard. It won't even be selling, because you're literally just giving them what they want. And if you need help selling, I'm gonna have videos on all these different topics coming in the next, in the future. So if you want you want me to make a specific video, just comment, and I'll make that video the next couple of videos. But in simple terms, now you present the offer to your audience, and then now do whatever you can to get amazing results for them. So you can literally, if you want, DM me. You can ask me how to get amazing results for your customers, or you can look it up on YouTube. You might not find it on YouTube because people don't care about getting amazing results for their customers. So you can ask ChatGPT, because ChatGPT is sentient. Like, it's smart. It knows that customer results are the most important thing ever. So you can ask ChatGPT to help you with that. But in terms of that is your actual actionable steps. In 2 weeks, and a week to 2 weeks from now, you could have 20K, 30K, 40K cash in the bank. And if you don't want to do this by yourself, and you actually just want someone to literally just give you all the systems required to do so, we will help you do the market research, help you create the offer, help you launch the offer, help you sell the offer, help you get amazing customer results for your offer. So it's not just like we're gonna make you money, create the offer for you, and then leave you out to dry so that you don't know how to get amazing customer results for your customers. No, we're gonna give you the actual systems and dashboards required to ensure that people are getting amazing customer transformations. Then we'll show you how to create content so that you can actually turn your case studies and results and mechanism and system into content that attracts more buyers and more customers in the future. And then we'll go through the simple process of squeeze launch before synthesis 1, before synthesis 2, and then the big synthesis launch to now where by the end of synthesis, you should be at hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, because you have launched the offer, you would have made a huge amount of money off the launch, and now you can now sell your offer on an evergreen basis now, where people are buying consistently, predictably, because you have an ecosystem, an engine that's running on its own, fueled by the customer results and transformation that you've gotten in the first 3 launches of squeeze launch, before synthesis 1, and before synthesis 2. So I say all that to say, I hope this was valuable for you guys, bro. Like, I put my all into this. Like, you guys can tell, this is pretty much a raw video. You guys can tell I live, breathe, and eat this all day. This is my passion. I feel weird saying I love you guys. I love you though. Like, I hope this was valuable. I love you, truly. I love you. I really hope this is valuable for you. I really hope this helps you with your YouTube channel and realizing how much potential and value you have, and how much money you have potentially to make from your channel. So I want you to watch this video next, because it's going to be very, very valuable for you. Or you can even click the link in the first link in the description, because that's going to be the link to the video that you can watch next, because that's going to be and showcase how to actually step-by-step do this in a lot more in-depth way that I could really showcase in the video. But in the next video that you should watch, it's a 2-hour course. Quite literally, I go in-depth, step-by-step, how to actually go about this and implement this step-by-step, like nitty-gritty. So go watch that next. If you want help with this, you can DM me on Instagram, the word synthesis. We can book a call in the description. Until then, I will see you on the next video. D-Waves Acquisition, Divine Nawaga, out.